everybody, I'm Katie. Today Con and I are going to talk to you about the dangers of a forced ranking system for employees, which is also known as a stacked ranking system. This is a system that's not really common anymore. It's kind of declined in popularity in recent years, but it is still in use at some major tech companies. And Yahoo recently made news because they've ramped up their use of a system like this. So you guys have probably heard of a system, a stack ranking system before. The idea is that there's some sort of a curve, a distribution, and employees are ranked against their coworkers, with a certain percentage being designated as the top tier, really wonderful employees, a certain percentage falling in the middle, and then a set percentage that's the bottom tier C players. And rewards or punishments at the company are distributed based on where you are in this curve. So if you are in the top tier, you'll get the top raises. If you're in the bottom tier, you'll get the lowest raises, or you might even lose your job. So we're going to talk about how a system like this really undermines autonomy in the workforce. And this is important because Pink has told us that autonomy, along with purpose and mastery, is one of the primary drivers of intrinsic motivation. We know that intrinsic motivation is important because he also tells us that intrinsic motivation really drives creative work. If you use a carrot and stick approach, you're not going to get creative work. You're going to get people who are following instructions. So as autonomy goes down, so does intrinsic motivation. It's really easy to tell how a stacked ranking system is going to disrupt managers' autonomy. Managers won't be free to reward their employees based on the work that they see. They can't use their judgment. They have to fit into some arbitrary standard. And that can be really hard if you have a great team of superstars. How do you determine who's the C player? Likewise, if you have a team that's kind of iffy, you're going to have to reward somebody that maybe you think isn't rewarded or doesn't deserve to be rewarded. So managers have to make and defend decisions that they don't necessarily agree with. They could also lose face with their employees because it could be perceived that the manager is being unfair, that they're dishonest, or that they just are incompetent, don't know what they're talking about. For employees, there's another whole host of problems with their autonomy. The first is that there's really no room for risk in a system like this. This really requires a very narrow focus on projects that are likely to succeed, on projects that you don't risk falling in the bottom of the stack. There's also a pretty serious instrumentality problem. When you look at expectancy theory, motivation is the expectancy times the instrumentality times the valence or the reward. And the instrumentality here is pretty low. You might do a really good job, but if somebody or everybody around you also does a really good job, you might not be rewarded for your work. You might still end up on the bottom of the stack because you're being compared to others. So that would make your motivation pretty low. You might not work very hard. On the flip side, people might discover that there's a problem at the beginning of that chain, that what the company says they're rewarding is not actually what the company's rewarding. They're actually rewarding people standing out above their coworkers. So employees who make that connection might then change their focus. So instead of doing good work, what they're doing is anything and everything they can do to stand out against their coworkers, which might mean, it certainly means increased competition. It might also mean some pretty destructive, backstabbing kinds of behaviors that could represent a real challenge for the organization. Organization-wide then, we can see how a decrease in autonomy creates problems. Autonomy goes down, which drives down intrinsic motivation, which causes a reliance on extrinsic motivation, which, as we've just seen, is not set up very well. This could also cause an increase in disengaged and destructive behavior. And with Yahoo, we're seeing kind of a shift towards less autonomy in their corporate culture right now. They have a new CEO who has made it clear that she's trying to change the course of the company. And it seems that she's taken a bit of a gamble here. On the one hand, she might actually succeed in weeding out some of the people that she wants to weed out. But over the long term, we've already seen how this can affect a company. Microsoft was pretty well known for having a very strong stack ranking system and also a very dissatisfied and contentious workforce. And we hope that Yahoo doesn't go the same direction. Microsoft recently dropped their use of the stack ranking system in favor of something that promotes a little bit more collaboration, and we hope that Yahoo will do the same. So Khan now is going to talk to you about some recommendations we have for how Yahoo might be able to make that difference.
Hi everybody, my name is Khan, and as Katie mentioned, the stack ranking can have very serious negative effects on the organization. However, we believe that autonomy play an important part in the business scenery nowadays environment, and especially in the tech companies such as Yahoo. Autonomy play even a more important role since they rely so much on innovation, on creativity from the employees. Jeff Gunther, as mentioned in Pink, view money as only a threshold motivation. What this means is that he believed that people have a set amount of value for their work. And when this value is reached, the extra compensation doesn't necessarily mean as much to the employee as they should be. So that employee will now value other things such as time with their spouses, their family, or time to work on their hobbies even more than just normal money. So that from this perspective, Jeff Gunther adopted this process called RAW, which is result only work environments. So in his company, people don't have to be at the office. However, they still they are encouraged to do work on their own time, and they are compensated only based on the result that they show. And for the autonomy of this workplace, for this process, there are four more important factors: task, time, technique, and team. Why are these so important for role? Task, as we say, is what we do. Time is when you do it. Technique is how you do the work, and team is who you choose to do the work with. So for the Yahoo case scenario, we decided we think that it would help if the management system come up with a baseline result or goals that they would like their employee to reach. Why does this make such a difference? The baseline result or goals basically mean that the management believe that employees are higher to be able to reach such achievement, and so that when this achievement is reached, the employee's job is safe. They don't have to worry about being punished or anything else. This way, the role system come into work. When this baseline is reached, employees are free to choose whatever task that they would like to do, whichever task, however focus they would like, they have the freedom to choose. The time, they can allocate the time through different various projects they have. It's up to them to use it as beneficial as possible. Technique, the company have a lot of techniques and tools that can help the employees. And the employees are free to use this as frequently as much as they can, just to get the job done and get the best progress possible. Teamwork is encouraged. They can choose to work with whoever they want, whenever they want. Why is it so important? Because many people can have the same idea or the same mindset. So that now teamwork will reduce the overlap work. So this saves company a good amount of resources and also the employees' time at the same time. Also, for when this baseline is created, we believe that it plays an important part in the expectancy theory also. Why is this? Expectancy, because now that the employees can clearly see the finish line, they can see where they have to be. They are not worrying about doing more work than their colleagues. They worry about doing the best work there is. Instrumentality, workers are now confident and they will be rewarded if they do the job well. So now As I said again, they don't have to compete with their colleagues anymore. They can get together, work together, get better results, and work best for the company. Balance, needless to say, when you reward the employees with the good work that they do, they will continue to doing the good job repeatedly. You don't have to push them anymore. They will do it voluntarily by themselves. Another point I would like to bring up is the power of progress. Um, why it is such important? Because people want to believe in the meaning of their work, that their work means something to them, to the society around them. As Alma Bell and Kramer says, the single most important thing in a single workday is the progress, is making progress in meaningful work. Our management team need to repeatedly um, remind the employees that their work is doing changing in the world, is better the environment around them. Um, they are not simply just doing the work to make the management team rich, to make the company rich, or to make any personal gain for the management level system at all. So in conclusion, we believe that competition is very important in the workplace. However, there are difference between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. And it's really up to the management team to use all the tools they have in their power to create as much healthy competition as possible. And I think that concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.